resistance.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ted Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. Chris Sheldon. If you are watching this, you are the Resistance. Joining me today is good old Reverend Ordo and Zero, and this is Met Monster Blue, the fictitious product that doesn't actually exist because we have no corporate sponsors. We are not sponsored by APAC or any of that nonsense. We are of the people, by the people, for the people. So if you like this broadcast, please, by all means, share the live feeds, follow us on our various social medias, X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, all at REALTWWRN. Check out our online store at REALTWWRN.printify.me. And as always, feel free to join in the conversation. Comments are now enabled. So if you have any thoughts, opinions, or just want to troll the fuck out of us, feel free to join in the conversation because unlike most radio hosts and podcasters out there who maybe throw out a hotline number and take a few calls, we say fuck that shit. Come be a part of the conversation from beginning to end. No matter how many people, few or great, all are welcome. So on that note, I am having a bit of trouble here. I set up the studio last night and we are not streaming to Rumble. So I am having a bit of a dilemma here.
Yeah, and it's kind of annoying that now, ever since they changed the logo of StreamYard, that every time the host leaves the StreamYard tab, their camera freezes.
Yeah. So has my camera frozen?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was pointing at. Is ever since StreamYard changed the logo.
Don't worry about that. Let's just carry on. Revan,
you got
take
that
the point real quick?
brother. You got that they declaring my I just farted look.
Nice. Thing is, I haven't left the studio. I mean, you guys can still hear me, right?
I can hear you.
All right, so
But you
just
still got
give
that
me
fart
1
protection.
second. I will have this fixed in 1 moment because I'm a fucking badass.
I think this should be your profile look, man. Got that I just farted look.
I can't wait to look back on this and see.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell happened, but apparently Rumble didn't fix. So
yeah, it's that.
All right, I'll fix it, cocksucker.
So I pulled up the timeline, if that'll be helpful for the cruise ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I should be able to enter the studio now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, now I'm blacked out apparently.
Now you got that. Did she actually queef look?
Oh shit! I just removed Zero.
Damn. I got slapped by 10 Man.
There we go. I think I fixed it. All right, I think I fixed it. We're still not on Rumble though. I don't know what the hell's going on. Might be a problem with Rumble directly.
I could check. Got the app.
Please excuse the technical difficulties. We will get to the show as soon as we can.
Yeah, I do apologize for that. I will just have to repost the feed later. For whatever reason, the Rumble feed is not working, but I can fix that later in post. But we'll just go ahead and run with it, and I will get everything reposted at its varying points later. So the Hantavirus jumped from the ship to varying countries and is now actually in Israel. I have. You all right?
Yeah, just farted.
Yay.
Yay. Right.
We actually have a mess of articles here. Israel confirms first Hantavirus case in traveler from Eastern Europe. The patient picked up a European strain months ago and does not need intensive care or isolation, making Israel's initial detection of the rodent spread virus. This comes amid a separate NDS virus cluster on the MV Hondias cruise ship with 6 confirmed cases, 3 dead, and evacuations from Cape Verde to Spain, Canary Islands. Contact tracing covers over a dozen countries, but no community spread appears, and global risk stays low. But yeah, they're hyping this up as the second great plandemic. And
things I've heard about it is 23 people have actually gotten off the ship, including the ones who have are no longer with us. This is the only strand that is human to human contagious. And at first I thought it was not like intimate contact, but close proximity contact. No, you can be in a room with somebody with it for 30 minutes and you can catch it. As well as the final bit of information I found, it could stay dormant for like 28 weeks or something before it's even acknowledged.
Really? Yeah, so this definitely makes for a prime candidate for the Hantavirus.
The other news I heard is the only cure is a good pat on the back. Make sure your fluid intake is high and get a lot of sleep.
I heard there is no cure, and it's just make you comfortable until you're dead.
That's what I meant by a nice pat on the back. You can do it, buddy. You can do it.
Right. Yeah. Even Jones at this point is just, I don't even know what you would say to that. Where is my feed? There it is.
But I have a timeline from the 1st of April all the way to the 7th of May.
Okay, what do you got?
The ship leaves far south Argentina, scheduled for stops on the April 1st. On the 6th, a 70-year-old Dutchman becomes sick with a fever. His wife was with him. The 11th, the Dutchman has respiratory distress on board and dies. The 15th, six more people join the cruise. The Dutchman's body remains on board. April 24th, the man's body was removed. His wife also disembarked, and 24 other passengers. That's the 23 that I was talking about.
Yeah.
The 25th, the Dutch woman has symptoms of illness. On a flight with 88 passengers. April 26th, the woman collapses in an airport and passes away. On the ship, a British man was evacuated and was later moved to South Africa. This is the third victim.
Okay.
A different woman, a German woman, falls sick on board at Cape Verde in April 28th. May 2nd, that German woman dies on board nearly a month after the first passenger fell ill. May 3rd, the WHO says it's responding to the outbreak. May 4th, South African officials posthumous positive result for hantavirus for Dutch woman, which was the first official report of what it was. And also on the 4th, WHO considered it an outbreak. On the 5th, the cruise ship is in a standoff with Cape Verde authorities about disembarking, and 2 crew members are seriously ill on board, including the ship's doctor. The 6th, 3 of the 2 that tested positive are evacuated from the ship, flown to hospital in Europe. The Canary Islands says they will take them. Switzerland announces a positive virus test on a man who left the cruise. Health authorities in South Africa say that Andes virus, the only hantavirus thought to be human-to-human contact, like it's that specific strand, but they figured it out on May 6th. And on the 7th, health authorities, Switzerland, Britain, Netherlands, France, Singapore, South Africa, and elsewhere are isolating people who left the ship.
I see. Yeah, again, they're hyping this up like it's the next COVID-19. And even Jones is fucking capitalizing on this shit. On the eve of COVID 2.0 and the great alien deception, the Died Suddenly team joins Alex Jones to discuss how God is raising up an army to fight evil in these dark times. Now, that's an interesting statement. We can come back around that, but I really want to harp on this. Happening now, recently, declassified CIA documents reveal how the agency targeted the American people through food, water, and medicine to poison and dumb down the population to make us more subservient to their depopulation agenda. And they have an hour-long breakdown there.
They have an end game. They have an end game. Everybody needs to be aware that the keys.
I will be sharing that on X, but I'm going to play a short excerpt from that right now.
They have an end game. They have an end game. Everybody needs to be aware that the keystone or linchpin to their end game, what will not work is if we're not poisoned. They had to poison us. They obviously have the poisons that have nanosymbline through Teslaphoresis in it and so forth, but it's the poisons. And the poisons are not like the old style poisons where they're microscopic, micronized, they're nano. And
if you survive it, you get over it. No, it self-replicates, right. So you're done.
And it gets inside of your cells and becomes magnetic toxic. It's an intracellular problem. It's something that normal, healthy habits, nothing.
How did you fall into this? Because you have all these scientists that work for you, and you really know what you're talking about. Really impressed. And you were talking about this 6 months ago now, or years ago. I'm sure you saw it. Like they declassified, like I said, Operation Artichoke, part of MK Ultra, how they poison the food, the water, and the vaccines with basically self-replicating stuff that would, quote, destabilize our electrochemical liquid crystal system.
It affects our
which is water is a liquid crystal.
Yes, we're liquid mesogens. We are water. That's how all of our memories and functions and communications and connectiveness.
That's our silicon.
Works. Yes, that's what makes us special and human. That's what makes us
So silicon is sand or is glass. We are water-based.
Yes, we are absolutely water minerals. We're over 99.5%. If you add up all of our molecules, we are water and minerals with electrical current going through it, and we're toxic.
I was reading, if they melt us down, we're like exactly the same salinization as the ocean.
Yes, we are. If you take seawater and you dilute it down with 3 parts water, it is identical in every way that you can measure. Molecular pH, zeta potential. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. It is identical to your blood plasma. That's why you can use it for a blood transfusion.
So the war is literally water-based versus silicon.
Yeah, we are unnatural toxins, aluminum, mercury, lead, everything that we know of, the atrazine, list goes on, right? Those in our bodies, if we can get those out, we have to understand this is not an old school game. This
We're
is
water
a nano
creatures.
game. Yes, yes. And as soon as we get that stuff out, our beautiful God-created bodies work magically again, healthy. Our brains come online. We critically think we will not stand for any of this. If everybody had the poisons out of them, which means the poisoning problem is gone, we all come together. It happens organically at that point. So being able to get this, not this internal biosystem.
Well, that's what the CIA said. They said when our liquid crystal is clean, we're all telepathically communicating.
Yes.
And can't be controlled. That's official CIA, yes. Like I said, total findings by 62.
Yes.
So they said we have to pollute the crystal. And you were at my office like 6 months ago going, they have to pollute the water, which I always knew was true. And this Japanese scientist and this blah, blah, blah. And it's crazy though.
Yeah.
What jerks, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is nothing new with the Hantavirus or COVID-19 or any of the other viruses we face. They want to poison us. That's why they had the vaccine, to give us those to put the HIV spike protein into the bodies of the people, the populace of the world, as well as any other nasties that they decided. I heard that they actually put some nanotech in the COVID-19 virus. Reverend Zero, any thoughts on that?
I think it's a scare tactic and a distraction, man. Honestly,
Prospectively, yeah, a lot of people do think it is a scare tactic and distraction, especially with what Trump did. What was it, yesterday? Where he popped off at the mouth and was basically saying that he was going to nuke the United States. Like, I've got the video right here. Like, dude is asking for the 25th Amendment. Like, no doubt.
You're on, still on.
Yeah, it is. It's they trifled with us today. We blew them away. They trifled. I call that a trifle. I'll let you know when there's no ceasefire. You won't have to know. If there's no ceasefire, you're not going to have to know. You're just going to have to look at one big glow coming out of Iran. And they better sign their agreement fast.
Yes, could you give us an update on what is the latest in those talks?
No, the talks are going very well, but they have to understand if it doesn't get signed, they're going to have a lot of pain. They're going to have a lot of pain. They want to sign it. I will tell you. They want to sign it a lot more than I do.
Yeah, they want to sign it,
Well,
but yet they haven't signed it.
He talking about turning the desert to glass.
Pretty much, yeah. Turning Iran into a radioactive ashtray, for lack of a better term. I mean, the guy's just off point. We do hear a lot of news about him being beside himself in terms of this war. You know, he bought into Netanyahu's bullshit. He pushed the war idea, and that we're just going in there to take out certain targets, or to take out their defense systems, or to take out their nuclear capability, or this or that. And it's even been said by him and others within his administration that it was also regime change. You got flip-flopping stories. You got Trump and others saying over 30 times that the conflict is over, we've won, and that we're pulling back, but yet here we are. That video was just yesterday. It's like, dude, what the fuck? What are we doing here? And gas prices are going up, and I don't understand that. We've got 9 years worth of oil reserves. that we could easily
Exactly.
tap into and keep prices low and keep the economy going. You know, if Trump wants to keep his economy going and have that big win, he needs to crack open these kegs and open these reserves so as to keep the cost of gas low. Because with fuel costs, if fuel cost goes up, the cost to transport goods goes up. If the cost to transport goods goes up, then the cost to sell goods goes up. And everything goes up. It's a domino effect. So if Trump wants to save his economic recovery and save face, he needs to crack open the reserves yesterday. And be done with it.
But I'd like to point to our second topic at the same time, that since all of this information has been released, we may see an advanced jump in technology where, like is stated, we will no longer require fossil fuels, etc. ... electronic energy.
Yeah, I do want to jump into that in a little bit here.
It's like you're just kind of leading down that path, and you're like, oil prices
it heads that direction regardless.
For about 6 to 8 more months, it's going to be like this until the integration begins.
Yeah, we will be jumping to that in a moment here. But I
Here's,
want to.
here's what they're not telling you, man. And I want to hit it in the nuts here, man. You know,
Ouch.
Iran has took back the port of Hormuz.
Yeah.
They have grabbed a derelict ship and planning to use it. What Trump is saying? Come on, man. We all got.
He's trying to bullshit people.
No, hear me out, man. Hear me out. We're seeing a George W. Bush 2.0. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. when he said the war's over, we're going back to normal. Didn't we see that from Bush when he fake landed on the plane and says mission accomplished? No.
Yeah.
It ain't mission accomplished. If it was accomplished, the whole thing would have ended a long time ago. But no, we got a Bush 2.0 who says the war is over. We're going to go back to... Dude, you're bullshitting the public. You're bullshitting... Look, dude, you're bullshitting the whole entire fucking world, man. The whole world says, look, we're tired of you and baby shitting you who's under investigation for corruption for getting free gifts, you know? And here's the thing. Jared Kushner...
half a dozen countries want him arrested if if he flies over their airspace. They're going to force him down and arrest him.
Who's Jewish himself, hosted the shitting yoo-hoos.
Yeah. You know, let's just say it. Let's just go that route for a moment. Jew. Should we do the big one or the little one?
Don't matter, man. Don't matter.
Let's do the big one. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, does Trump know his daughter married a Zionist about a Jew?
Probably. He probably arranged it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was probably a business decision with knowing him.
Yeah. Everything's transactional with that guy. But let's go ahead and jump to BB himself and see what he said here.
Is developing now ballistic missiles that are intercontinental ballistic missiles for 8,000 kilometer range. What does that mean? They add another 3,000 kilometers and they've got under their atomic guns, in New York City in target, Washington, Boston, Miami, Mar-a-Lago. Okay? So that is a very great danger. You don't want to be under the nuclear gun of these people who are not necessarily rational and who chant death to America. Let's develop.
You notice he deliberately pointed out Mar-a-Lago. That message was directly to Trump. Like, no doubt about it. That message was aimed directly at Trump. He wanted Trump to hear that. He wanted Trump to have that in the back of his mind.
Give me about 5 minutes. I got a delivery.
All right, no problem. Handle your business. Zero.
Yo.
Segueing back to the Hantavirus and the war in Iran and this UFO disclosure and all that, it seems pretty evident that this is a distraction, trying to distract away from everything that Trump's been dropping the ball on, not just the Iran conflict and shooting his recovery plan in the foot, but also the Epstein debacle. Everybody's on his ass still about the Epstein debacle. Nobody's backing down about that. Would you say that that's a fairly accurate assumption?
Even in the 2-hour video that was released yesterday, and supposedly within that 2-hour video, they're supposed to release a 4-hour video today. They even covered Epstein Island, etc. ... in the whole discussion. There, like I said, it was a lot more than non-human entities in that 2-hour speech that I sent to you. It's legitimately a government entity telling you the things that we thought were true, the ones that are and aren't true.
Yeah, and I do have that reposted to X and to our Facebook as well. So anybody who wants to watch that full 2-hour conference can watch it on X or Facebook at REALTWWRN. And sorry, go ahead, Zero.
And honestly, I don't see it as a distraction. I see it as a shift or a pivot, because honestly, once the integration begins and we get on 0 point energy, there isn't much anything governing bodies can do besides regulate idiots that decide to step out of line.
Yeah, and I do want to get into that in a moment here, but I do want to touch on the whole thing with the hantavirus and everything else that's presently taking place here. What is with my laptop? I don't know what the hell's going on with my shit.
And my basic stuff is that's fragments of what was and is trying to be pushed out that should have never been in place for the last century.
Yes.
We're in the process of finishing off the remnants. The whole thing is that it began before this began, so to speak, in a sense, chronologically. So therefore, we have to get rid of the nonsense and pseudoscience that we're being fed while the new things are coming in. And I know I sound like exactly, but it's very rare that I actually feel slightly optimistic about the future of these humans because of what they've allowed to occur. But yeah, that's the point. What I wanted to say here is, if anybody's seen MIB3, it's kind of like the part where they're trying to get onto the base where the rocket ship's about to take off, and Griffin's like, the truth is the only path forward. And that's why I feel slightly optimistic, because they're actually legitimately doing it the honest way instead of the slow, deliberate, we don't know, we're not sure. No, they're being blunt with you. We're not alone.
Yeah, and we're going to go to break in a moment here, and then when we come back from break, we'll go into the first 10 of that video, because it is very important to see. But with the plandemic and whatnot, you know, that's a huge threat, you know, especially considering Saudi Arabia told Trump pretty much to back down and they weren't going to let him use the airspace. And then all of a sudden the Hantavirus pops up. And everybody's now saying Europe's pretty much demanding everybody mask up and whatnot. And everybody's going, no, we're not playing that game.
We did this once. We're not doing it twice.
Yeah, it's either one extreme or the other. I found an alternative. If you're gonna wear a mask,
nice segue.
Yeah, if you're gonna wear a mask, I got you guys covered. Check this shit out. I am an evil son of a bitch. Let me refresh that page.
Yep, here's the store, everybody. Here's the store.
Yep, we got some masks for you. All right, tell me I am not a ruthless son of a bitch.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I did this Hantavirus COVID 2.0. COVID-19 and Hantavirus, if you know, you know, and it's Bill Gates and Fauci high-fiving. Ask me about the Great Reset and Agenda 2030. And I like this one. I made this one yesterday on the fly. Only Christ can save you. Trump won't. Now, whether you're a Christian or not, I think we're all agreed at this point. Trump ain't gonna fucking save us. He's got his head too far up.
And this isn't even a technically anti-Trump message. It's more of a pro-Christian message.
Yes and no. I would say it's more or less just acknowledging the reality of the situation. Especially from a Christian conservative standpoint, we got to look at it and go, okay, Trump ain't the savior y'all thought he was. Okay, to all the Christians out there, Christ is the only one that's going to save you. Orange man ain't going to do it. So I put those all on a mask, and we've got 3 new shirts. Ask me about the Great Reset and Agenda 2030, and I got 2 versions of the Only Christ Can Save You, Trump Won't shirt. And I'm thinking about doing a sticker pack with these 2 images, or maybe even these 3 images, and another one. I gotta see what I can come up with. Maybe I'll do the freaking Bill Gates as the 4th horseman of the apocalypse, Death, the 4th horseman of the apocalypse, because I got that one that I made.
Yeah, maybe you got that one in a basket somewhere with Bill Gates as the pale horse.
Yeah. So, and I mean, we've already got stickers, so maybe we'll make a 4-pack of that where you can get varying stickers. So we'll do these 3 stickers, and you can pop those up all over the place. And, you know, I might just show that sticker right now. Let me pull that up on X real quick. Give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm going to start my break early, Tin Man.
Go for it. I'm going to go ahead and segue this into our quick break real quick. And all I'm going to do is commercial break. So let me just get that lined up real quick. Brain fart. Sorry. Oh yeah, I remember what I was doing. So show that Grim Reaper picture. Where is that picture? There it is. Go back to that. Do I have a new tab open? I'm just having technical difficulties left and right, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. It is an off day. There it is. There's my picture. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. Revelation 6:8. I think that's a great image. So maybe I'll make that into a sticker. You know, just remove the background and just have Gates and the fire and the text. I think that would be fucking great. Leave that in the comments if you think that'd be a great sticker. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. So we're just going to segue into a commercial real quick, and then we will be right back. Again, this is such an off day. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Where's my commercial? There it is.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Reverend Ordo, and I'm a co-host of the Worldwide Resistance Network. I want to let you know about my content on my so here, check me out on Minds, Gab, MeWe, Cloud Hub, Tumblr, Parler, Getter, Rumble, Scoops, TikTok, and also on YouTube on the Anonymous Manawari Network and the Anonymous Republic Network. Also on Truth Social. And also check out the Worldwide Resistance Network. Also check out Tin Man TV. Also on Tuesday evenings, Gray Jedi TV. Quote the Raven, D's nuts. Peace.
You are watching the Roundtable on the Worldwide Resistance Network. Now, returning to your broadcast. Where's my button? Yeah. Again, I'm having a very off
I got
day.
2 ideas I got 2 ideas for a shirt.
Yeah, 2 ideas
And,
for a shirt. What do you got, brother?
Now, I got these 2 shirts this week. I thought this would be really good for a T-shirt from your store. This is one of them.
Okay, well, I can't sell other people's products. We
No,
have
no,
to.
no. It's a inspirational idea.
Yeah. Maybe a variant of that idea, perhaps.
Yeah.
We can discuss that more later, perhaps. Yeah.
Also, here's another one.
Yeah, GI Joe shirt. That's pretty funny.
That's nice. I like that. I really like that.
I think that would be really cool. Kind of a inspirational idea. Something
Yeah.
like-
You just take it and build. Yes. I mean, I sit there at work and I put together that shirt yesterday. Both those shirts that I put together, the Only Christ Can Save You, I put those together yesterday during my downtime at work. So it's not that hard to do. And I got them up yesterday. They're there. They're good. So we could definitely come up with something. You and I can hash out the details later today. But in the meantime, getting back to the meat and potatoes of everything. Zero, you shared an interesting video with us yesterday. It was the 2026 press conference, 25th anniversary of the 2001 disclosure press conference. So I want to go into that, and we're just going to play like the first 10 minutes of that. And, we can throw in commentary as we go. But for the most part, I really want people to focus on what this gentleman is saying in regards to global government, shadow government operating behind the actual government, and so on and so forth.
And to preface it real quick, conspiracy theory is information that is not released by the government. This individual here is technically considered a government governing body, so therefore what is stated here is no longer considered conspiracy theory. Thank you, Tin Man.
Yeah, it is confirmed by government officials that, what we've been saying for years is not a conspiracy theory, but a fact.
No, we don't. So I wish we did. At least 0.001% of it, this would be solved a long time ago.
He's talking about, wishing he had the money to.
This 25 years ago, you're going to see a little video clip summary of that 2-hour event where there were 20 top secret guys disclosing things. And in reality, Disclosure Project began on December 13th, 1993. You remember that date. And that's when I was asked to brief the director of the CIA for Bill Clinton. And Mr. Clinton had made inquiries.
I want to pause real quick. It's the 2 gentlemen with the hats that just came in. I think maybe those might be Jewish gentlemen based on, what you saw with the hair and whatnot. It was very interesting that when he first started talking, these 2 gentlemen who looked virtually identical minus the hair braid on the gentleman on the right.
And the wrinkle.
Just happened to pop in and sit down center frame.
And the wrinkle. The wrinkle on his back of his head.
Yeah. The hats. Since when do you wear hats inside? That's kind of a disrespectful thing unless you're pushing a promotional thing. In venues like this, you generally take your hat off.
Into this matter and had been denied access. This is what happened to Mr. Obama. When you see this clip where he says, yeah, they exist, but I never got to get to the bottom of it. That's what happened. Because we had briefed him, but through official channels, he got nothing. And he is not lying about that. People think he's lying. He is not. So when I had this happen, as a young emergency trauma doctor with 4 little kids, I realized, my God, there is a criminal unconstitutional program keeping all of this secret. And of course, by then I had figured out why. Because if this information comes out honestly and fully, we'll start a new civilization with no need for the Straits of Hormuz. No oil, no coal, no nuclear power.
Okay, I do want to touch on
Yeah.
that real quick.
Yeah.
Zero, you had some thoughts on that. Go ahead and touch on that for a moment.
The whole thing is, since we know that we're not alone anymore, he goes deeper into it later that thank gosh they're not hostile. We're actually the hostile ones. And the point behind that is that they are thousands of years ahead of us in technology. And that's what I was talking about earlier about this 0-point energy field. There's going to be an integration very soon where we will have access to unlimited electricity, so to speak. There will be
kind of like what Tesla was doing.
Very extremely similar to Tesla. We will legitimately have a conscious AI where we interact with the AI and the AI will do what we're asking it to do instead of typing prompts. It'll, in a sense, read our minds, so to speak.
It's essential merger.
Correct. It's a it's a transgression that's going on here, and not the whole confusing thing from what we're passing away.
I do want to double back to that. I do want to double back to that point. But what I wanted to get at here was the transition of technology, at least in terms of energy systems. That's going to be a process because you're going to be putting a lot of companies out of business. You're going to be putting a lot.
Yes, he even talks
oil
about
industries out of business. And there's, in terms of infrastructure, you're going to have to. That's going to take a good long while to transition infrastructurally from petroleum-based and coal-based and nuclear power and all these currently existing energy systems to this new energy system. That's going to take a long time to transition from. And that's what I wanted to get at. But the point that you wanted to make, I want to come back to that later after this video.
Yes,
because that fits into a great many other things.
He also mentions the infrastructural cost. It's like a couple $100 trillion that we're going to have to backstep. And from what I understand, it's a personal device, like a phone or something.
Well, you figure, you may have the technology readily available to you, but it's going to take a very long time to integrate that technology and build these facilities and transition from one system to another. It's not going to be an overnight thing. But getting back to the video.
And within 20 years, no poverty on the planet.
That's another point.
However, it also is going to be a $1,000 trillion to $2,000 trillion asset removal. You add all those assets up. So we're going to talk about, frankly, what needs to happen towards the end of how this is going to come out and the transition our civilization must go through in the next couple of years if we're going to make it through to the next 1,000. And that is how consequential disclosure is. So before any further ado, I'd like to introduce our courageous people. I have to say that these men who are here are the heroes. I've just been the facilitator of this for 35 years. And to my left is Michael Herrera, former Marine. And to his left, Jaime Maussan, who's a renowned researcher from Mexico. And he is the only man on Earth that has retrieved a non-human extraterrestrial device and kept it secure from SWAT teams getting it. And that's what we're researching. He did it. Here we have Roderick Castle, also a former Marine, with an amazing story he will share with you. And then we have two of our best, the Green Beret Special Forces, Randy Anderson and Mike Batista. Oh, and I'm Dr. Stephen Greer. Anyway, so, and this is President Trump's full unredacted briefing document given to him and his administration November of 2024. This. It's unredacted. Now, I will tell you that that information and the summary, I was told I had to do a one-sheet summary for the president, and it included the executive orders you're about to see today. It has resulted in where we are now with the first tranche, and thank you, Mr. President, for fulfilling your promise on that, even though it's not much in that file yet. We're told it's
yeah, there was actually nothing
but that's
in
why
that
we want to keep
file.
the pressure on. Now, I have to say the
You
timing.
always saw that in that file was a bunch of Tic Tacs and a body bag on a stretcher that could have been anyone or anything. And they wouldn't say what was in the body bag. It's like, we can't tell you that, but you can figure it out. So if we're talking full disclosure here, why are you sitting there going, we can't tell you what's in the body bag? Well, if this is full disclosure, why the fuck not? I gotta call bullshit on that for the first initial.
So, basically, I don't know if I've said it on live yet or not. He says later that the abductions were actually human created to cause the fear mongering of the people not from this planet are actually hostile, instead of the legitimate fact that encounters are real, but they don't take anybody. And they are non-hostile, because he even explains later, if they were hostile, we'd have been gone the first time we detonated a nuclear bomb. It's kind of like I say,
well, even that, you know, if they were hostile, they could have freaking wiped us out at any point in.
That's what I'm putting on the table.
Yeah,
that's what I'm putting on the table, Tin Man. We're the hostile ones. There's actually, he says even later that there's actually bases designed to create the unidentified non-human crafts to appear, take them down, and actually reverse engineer them, if that makes any sense. Like they are hostiles, but we're baiting them and trapping them. Go ahead.
I got a question here. Stephen Greer has been on shows like the UFO Hunters and Ancient Aliens and shit like that. Now, again, he's been at this for 35, maybe even 40 years, per se. How come he ain't dead? Okay, we have what, 14 now? Scientists are dead now?
He even covers that in here.
And the thing is, he's been talking about this shit for nearly 35, almost 40 years. He's a scientist.
They obviously don't see him as much of a threat, because even though he has some credible information, he's not directly involved with a lot of the projects. Whereas the people who are wound up dead, they were directly involved one way or another. They had direct access or were directly involved in these projects. And whatever the truth is, they don't want it getting out. And we're going to get into more in that. The theory as to why in a minute.
I thought knowledge was power, and knowledge is the most powerful weapon out there. This guy has enough knowledge. Like, dude, this guy should have been in a body bag a long time ago. I mean, the guy's a doctor, a scientist. I mean, the guy had ties to talking with the CIA, the pro. Like, dude.
I'm kind of siding with Tin Man here. What he has is second and third hand knowledge. He doesn't legitimately have any first hand knowledge.
Yeah. And what he has could be interpreted as subjective, because what he thinks he knows may not be what is actually true. because there's the truth and there's what you perceive to be the truth based on available information. Like you and I have talked about in the past, Revan, about biblical theology. You have the standard King James Bible, which most people take as gospel truth, definitive from beginning to end. But then you have things like the Ethiopian Bible, the Apocrypha, and so on and so forth that give additional information and in many ways paint a uniquely different story. Yes, exactly. Paint a uniquely different story or add a spin or a context to what you think you know. So we're actually going to get into that after.
He's about to say the most important part of the entire opening.
Yeah, we're going to get back to this. We're going to finish it up, and then we'll dissect it in full.
You know, we planned this months ago and announced this date, and my phone blew up yesterday that the White House was going to dump all this material this morning.
Yeah,
So
what an
for the
amazing
media,
coincidence,
it's
because
not
wasn't
a
it supposed to
coincidence
be
that
June?
happened because there were people close in the administration that we've been ferrying this information to, including the Secretary of Defense and the Vice President, Director of National Intelligence, and folks like that. I also want to thank the members of Congress who have stepped up to the plate, Ms. Luna and Mr. Burleson, Mr. Burchett, and many others, people in the Senate Intelligence Committee that I provided information to, and the SCIF at the Senate Intelligence Committee. There are many, many fine people who are trying to get to the bottom of this. The problem is, and this I want to be clear about, there are two governments. There's the government you know about, we elect and appoint. There's a shadow or secret government that is actually running this. And that is not a conspiracy theory. It's fact. We can prove it. And what that means is routinely presidents, SecDefs, and others, they will get the most superficial information on this, whereas the code word level special access projects, top secret special compartment information, is something they never can penetrate because it's operating outside the constitutional chain of command. I cannot say that more clearly. And that was the conclusion we reached in 1993. Not because I was Googling conspiracy theories, but because I met and briefed the director of the CIA, who told me point blank that he and the president were denied access. Okay, this is a serious problem for our country and for the world. So when the most important issue in the history of the human species comes up, and you have the rule of law completely subverted by an unelected, unsanctioned group, we can have our phones off. Then I think this is a real problem for us as people. So I think that my biggest problem in the 35 years that I've been doing this is to get people to understand who are in high office that you're not going to get access unless you go do a workaround. And so what I've been trying to do is to be a bridge between right now over 760 top secret whistleblowers from every agency, Department of Defense, corporations, get their information to people in government here and abroad, and particularly to people in national security and intelligence circles who want to know this information but are denied access. That is the primary purpose of why I left my medical career, to do it, because I realized they didn't have access, and it was a mistake that people were making to think they did. Now, this is something I would have not have known if I had not taken many, many meetings with key people in the Pentagon. We're talking admirals, generals, senior cabinet level people, ministers of defense elsewhere. And in every single case, sometimes in tears, they would say, we have no access to these programs, but we know they're going on. Now, this is a problem that has to get rectified if we're going to go forward as any kind of democracy.
That's a good place that we're good. We got exactly what we need. And that's basically what's being put down, that they're acknowledging, giving us the information from a government official's mouth that there is a shadow government.
Yeah, and they say, oh, we need to put plants in and get this information. Well, more than just the information, we need to out the people who are behind this shadow government. Who are the powers that be? Give us some fucking names, and, 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 give us some fu get the gallows ready, so to speak.
It's time.
You know, get the military tribunals together. You know, who are these people? Who appointed these people? Who appointed a government over the government? You know, this whole thing needs to be unfucking done. And it's not just enough to acknowledge that there is a shadow government and expose one of probably billions of elements to this shadow government, but the issue of the shadow government and who's behind it itself needs to be addressed.
Exactly.
And it's as bad as many people think. Like I said earlier, the abductions were done by this shadow government. It was meant to fearmonger individuals to thinking that the non-human entities are actually bad guys. That's was the point behind it.
Well, you think back prior to the whole Roswell incident, who the hell ever thought of aliens in terms of modern society? You look from, the time that we landed here and established this country up until the Roswell crash, nobody considered the variables of aliens. Nobody really thought about that shit at all until the Roswell crash, until the end of World War II and all that shit. And at which point you got all this Nazi technology, like say the Nazi bell. You have instances where people say, a UFO came down that was shaped like a bell and little freaking goblins or whatever came out of it. It's similar technology to what Nazi Germany was working on. And then all of a sudden you have this fucking Roswell alien scare. And all of a sudden there's alien hysteria while they're developing new military aircraft with the Germans that they brought over here after World War II.
And that's what I'm trying to put down on the table, Tin Man. Going through the entire 2-hour video, he literally states like 1920 something, as well as not directly stating Greada Treaty, but using Eisenhower as the focal point of exactly what we've known about the Greada Treaty. First, these peaceful individuals came and said, disarm and you can join. We will give you all this technology. But there wasn't that other fraction, because the whole thing is that anybody off this planet is completely peaceful. And that's the strange thing. We have not found a hostile.
And that's what he's saying. And that's what he's saying. But you look in terms of what they're trying to propagate with Project Bluebeam and whatnot, you're probably not going to get any truly accurate or detailed information regarding these entities. And then it's going to be the scare with Project Bluebeam. And you've already got pastors, very prominent pastors, influential pastors who were recently briefed by government officials to prepare their flocks for faith-shaking revelations. And I want to go ahead and jump into a couple clips from Jones here. He really, really hit the nail on the head here. And then we can deep dive into that.
Government-sponsored clergy response teams that in the past they set up to tell churches turn in your guns during martial law, things like that. These are government-controlled pastors. Now they have these government-controlled pastors under an FBI program called InfraGard. It's also connected to NASA and the CIA. It's all public. Going around saying, I'm a pastor that works for intelligence agencies, and the aliens are real. You need to get ready to have your faith shaken about the Bible and Jesus. And they're using it to undermine really Christianity, saying they're defending it. This is a larger psyop just to screw with everybody's brains and to just further shake confidence in society. Government sponsored.
Really? Government controlled, government sponsored pastors, priests? Okay, how about this? How about we have the very same priests investigated for raping nuns? Okay.
Oh, this isn't just Catholics. This is a lot of which would be your influential pastors, your televangelists and whatnot.
Let's see.
People have very large
Benny
congregations. and a lot of network.
Or Roberts, Jim Baker, Robert Tilton, Billy Sunday, all these. Look,
yeah, a lot of people that have a very wide, not just a very wide audience, and but the ability, but also networking ability with other pastors and other communities.
Brother, here's what they see: these religious, narcissistic, Zionist Christians who are devil worshippers preaching the gospel, but behind the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, check this out. I mean, Jones makes a pretty good point here too. Talking about, things dating back to like the Anunnaki. Zero, we've had you on talking about this years ago in the past. The Anunnaki, the correlation with all these different societies and at different points in human history, all telling the same story or variances of the same story, even though they had no ties one to another.
So, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead and share your thoughts, Zero.
I was going to share two things because you made me think of another one. But the first one was Dr. Greer, the guy that was talking in the 2-hour-long video. He's a Christian, so he was stating that the non-human entities, they have Christian God. Is the way that he was framing it. Those aren't his exact words, but that's what I wanted to put on the table. Second,
you're talking about the Family Guy analogy. Hey, you're one of my father's side projects.
Yeah, there you go. Ha 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 ha. You get what he tried to frame it as. That they still acknowledge the Abrahamic God. The other thing was about the Anunnaki. If you went into the pieces of missing history that aren't in the basic instructions before leaving Earth, and you went to the part where the 3 individuals came here, well, basically the female of them was intimate with a male of whatever was on Earth at that point in time, had a baby. Well, that baby had children, had 2 women, and the brother of the woman from the Anunnaki was intimate with those 2 women, and therefore one of them made Adam and the other one made Eve. And that's
we can jump into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and play this clip, and because you're kind of getting ahead of myself, getting ahead of me there. But yeah, all these things tying together, and it's very interesting.
We've seen this build up the last 5 years really intensely with all these clear disinformation agents coming into Congress, putting out rabbit trails that go nowhere, obscuring what's really happening, claiming that there's about to be this huge disclosure so they can focus people on their disinformation, and then going around basically with government-sponsored clergy response teams that in the past they set up to tell churches turn in your guns during martial law, things like that. These are government-controlled pastors. Now they have these government-controlled pastors under an FBI program called InfraGard. It's also connected to NASA and the CIA. It's all public. Going around saying, I'm a pastor that works for intelligence agencies, and the aliens are real, and you need to get ready to have your faith shaken about the Bible and Jesus. And they're using it to undermine really Christianity, saying they're defending it.
I was looking for.
This is a larger psyop just to screw with everybody's brain.
But he had initially gone into the whole thing with the Anunnaki and all these ancient cultures who, one, have nothing to do with each other, but yet have similar stories. How divine beings came down and created the human race and put them in this garden or facility, and then for whatever reason were kicked out. And then you have the interbreeding, like Zero just mentioned, between these, quote, divine beings and humans. As talked about in Genesis, it briefly touches on this. The sons of man laid with the daughters the sons of God came and laid with the daughters of men and gave birth to the Nephilim giants, who were very violent and nearly wiped out humanity due to their hunger. And these angels, the Watchers, or the sons of God, as they were referred to, also shared forbidden knowledge, mainly things pertaining to war and conquest and varying tactics of subversion, whether it be through magic, war, psychology, a lot of negative stuff that could be used to enslave elements of humanity rather than empower it. And we see this throughout numerous cultures, not just in the Judeo-Christian culture, but Aztecs, Mayans, Egypt, Asian cultures as well. You see it all over the world, the same entities, the same images. I mean, you see a fucking Apache helicopter on the wall in the Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah,
and prior to that, you could, prior to the advent of the Apache helicopter, scientists couldn't identify what it was, but it was a fucking Apache helicopter.
Yeah, Amun-Ra was Quetzalcoatl and then became Hermes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these varying theologies. Hercules from Greek mythology, from Roman mythology, who was also Heracles in Greek mythology. They get the two mixed up, correlating with Samson of the Old Testament. Okay, many of the same stories of the Garden of Eden, the Son of God stories. Okay, you look at, and we sit there and talk about, there weren't freaking vehicles or anything like that. What was the fucking chariot of fire that, what was it? Was it the prophet Isaiah? No, it was the prophet Elijah who went up in a chariot of fire. What the fuck was a chariot of fire? Other than a UFO that couldn't otherwise be described. Okay, what was the star that led the three wise men to the manger where Mary was giving birth to Jesus? Okay, we see the same things in modern times. We're seeing fiery,
if you look at the paintings,
things in the sky, stars moving.
If you look at the paintings during the Renaissance, there was a couple of paintings where you had a UFO in the very background of the paintings.
Yeah, I mean, these things
during
were
the
not
time of the Italian Renaissance, was like, wow.
Yeah, and even J.D. Vance is saying that they're not extraterrestrial, they're interdimensional demons, which would make sense because you're looking at what these theologies have taught: suppression of the human species through the Anunnaki. What was it? Lil and Inky fucking at ends as to what humanity is and should be allowed to be.
Your JD Vance clip was addressed in the 2-hour video as well.
Good point. But and a lot of people would cling to that because what does it say in the Bible? He will be given power to deceive the nations. What did we see? Deception, endless deception, not just in the UFO shit, but look at it as a whole in terms of the governance of the world. Complete and utter lies, deception, and manipulation. You have Elon Musk, who is pushing AI like a motherfucker, like nobody else on this fucking planet, who fully admits that it's the equivalent of summoning the demon. Like, how stupid can you be to sit there and try to fuck with something like this? If that is the case. And you've got all these top experts, even the most intelligent and prominent scientists will fully admit that they are Christian and believe in God and believe that there has to be a divine creator in terms of creation. So it stands to reason that it makes a very good argument that this is a deception tactic, and they're going to use Project Bluebeam to fake an alien attack. Have you guys seen Spider-Man No Way Home, where they were using the drones and smokescreen and whatnot to create
and that's what I'm stating. That's what I'm stating. That's what Dr. Greer was stating, that this quote shadow government was setting that up. And he's literally the team that's like, no, we're not going to deal with it that way.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, and you know, we can't sit here and play the 2-hour clip and nitpick it. We'd be here all day. I mean, I'd be more than happy to on my day off. But,
it's a good show.
Yeah, I mean, I worked till 3 o'clock this morning. And I got to go back in at 3 this afternoon. So, yeah, I ain't got a lot of time in the world. And that's probably why things got fucked up production wise.
I sent you a link to a video for at the end of this.
Okay, so that'll be a video that we're going to show at the end of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll address that shortly. But again, getting back to Project Bluebeam, you look at Spider-Man No Way Home, where Mysterio was using drones and smoke screens to create the illusion of these monster attacks and declare himself this savior and this hero. That's what they're doing. They're telling you straight up what their plan is in media, just like they do with everything else. They got to tell you what they're doing so that you accept it, even on an unconscious level, so that they're absolved of any, quote, wrongdoing and cosmic backlash, because they believe so long as they tell you that it's a poison apple, they're absolved of murder. They'll give you the poison apple, but if they don't tell you it's a poison apple, then it's murder. But if they tell you it's a poison apple and you eat it, then that's of your own volition. Even if it happens on an unconscious level, they're very sneaky and fucking underhanded on that. A half truth is still a whole lie, cocksuckers. But that's what they're doing. They want to do Project Bluebeam, just like they did in Spider-Man No Way Home, where they create this fake crisis and they bring in this Messiah, whether it be the Mahdi or the Jewish Messiah or Yeshua the Christ.
It's supposed to be specific to each region.
Yeah, who's going to come in and defeat this thing and then declare itself the ultimate authority, bring peace to the Middle East, and then all that shit in Revelations plays out. And then that's where your integration of technology comes in, like what you were saying, Zero, the integration of this new technology.
0-point energy field.
0-point energy fields, which can not only be used for electricity, but also have other purposes as well, including nefarious purposes. That integrated with your surveillance system, your social credit score, cashless society, mark of a beast system. Because you figure you're talking about integrating the human species with artificial intelligence, implantable microchips or whatever, to where we are directly interfacing with artificial intelligence.
Without the actual tangible implantable microchips, it's more or less, like I said, it reads your mind. There's nothing implanted. It legitimately, your thoughts become presented.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those video game ideas where if you're not excited enough, it'll figure out a way to make you start enjoying the game.
Yeah, and still, but to be able to interact with the system and execute transactions, do business,
it goes back to
media, communications.
It goes back to your original AJ clip. Once we get all these toxins out of here, because he even discusses that they've been polluting us but in not so many minced words, once we get this out, we can be telepathic.
Yeah. But we're not going to be telepathic because they want these things in us. So they're going to create a substitute. It'll be a substitute, and you will be able to access. You will have access. This is how I see it playing out. You'll have initial access to the system. You will be integrated to the system, and you will have access to it. You will have all these things, you know, the cashless society, your bank account, your food transactions, paying your bills, communications, all that shit. But then it's going to be hit with a little service agreement. You have to submit to the AI. You have to take this mark, blah, 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 in order to continue to use the system. You are now a part of the system. But if you do not submit to these terms of service, you no longer have access to the system.
I completely agree with you, Tin Man. And like I stated earlier, he's stating that he's part of the team that is against that entire shebang. He's trying to make it so that we don't have to deal with getting up every day, grind 9 to 5 just to get by because of currency. He's making it so that we can just exist, a civilization instead of a society.
A utopia, which would in theory be a good idea. But, you know, considering we have the variables of very sick individuals, like it says in that one song that Connor introduced me to, Robin, you remember it. We used to use it as an intro, and it has that guy on there saying, what you think you know is going on and what is really going on, or the chasm between what you know is going on and what is really going on, is vastly enormous. That this world is run by unbelievably sick people. Now, if we can acknowledge that, you know, no matter what type of society we try to create, whether a totalitarian or a utopian society, it's going to turn totalitarian because these people are still in power. They're still in the positions where they are able to manipulate and influence things, even if it's slow roll, into their favor and into the system. Like Trump was on a good path when he got back in office, but, you know, the past 8 to 10 months, he's kind of deviated from that. And now we're back on course for Agenda 2030 and the Great Reset.
We had that, the instructional manual for Agenda 2025.
Yeah.
Right.
We had that, and that still came about. And, you know, Trump got back in office, and he was doing all right at first, but then, you know, he fucked up with the Epstein thing. Elon left. Charlie Kirk got killed. And then ever since that, it's been a downward spiral. And he's turned it around in a few areas ever so slightly. It's not by any means what it should be. But we can call balls and strikes and acknowledge a good move where it's a good move. But for the most part, we're still heading towards the Great Reset, Agenda 2030. Like I was saying, if Trump wants to save his fucking recovery, he needs to tap those fucking oil reserves. We got 9 years with the oil reserves. We need to fucking tap that shit, at least temporarily, until we can bring this conflict to a close. And he needs to get his head out of BB's ass and fucking pull back. He needs to listen to Iran. He needs to listen to these Pentagon officials who he acknowledges told him the truth and that he couldn't fucking win this.
Brother, you should say that Netanyahu should remove his dick from Trump's ass.
Well, I would definitely say that Netanyahu's riding Trump like a pony. You've seen that image that I made, and I've shared it all over social media of Trump on his hands and knees and Bibi Netanyahu's riding him like, yeah! like Bush riding a nuclear missile.
Good job, Tin Man.
Oh, I pull no punches. I will pull no punches. You know, I don't turn everything into merchandise, but, you know, I do create a lot of stuff, and I share it around. to try to create awareness, just like I did with the face mask. If we're going to have to wear face masks, use it to create awareness. I mean, if you want to resist and say, I'm not wearing the fucking mask, great. More power. I'm proud of you. Great. But if you're going to wear a mask, get one of ours. That says Bill Gates. I did this. Bill Gates and Fauci asked me about Agenda 2030 and the Great Reset. Okay? Capitalize it. Use it as an opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. Okay? What is not Taekwondo? Connor does Taekwondo. I did Kung Fu, Mantis. And the fundamental idea of Kung Fu is not hard style, but very soft style. It's not pushing onto your opponent. It is using your opponent's momentum against them. So that's why I created those masks, to use the enemy's momentum against them. If they're going to force a mask mandate, wear masks like this that expose the truth. It's like, well, how did Bill Gates do this? Oh, well, this, and this. A lot of people don't know what's going on, and they may have limited information. And if you're going to force a mask mandate, use their momentum against them. Turn the momentum against them, just like in Kung Fu. Okay? Be calm. Be smart. Push back. Soft style. Not hard style, but soft style. Very soft, very fluid. Manipulation. Using the enemy's momentum against them. Now, what were we talking about before this?
I think we was about to do the closing thing that Rev wanted to talk about.
Yes. What am I looking for, Reverend?
It's from the Jimmy Dore program, and he's talking about the chief of staff of Charlie Kirk spilling the beans on Edgar Kirk and the caption, mind-blowing video of Charlie Kirk, chief of staff. Yeah.
All right. We'll go ahead and bring that open right now. Is there a particular portion you want me to cover here?
The whole thing, man. The whole thing.
All right, let's just run it. We will run that for the next 20 minutes or so, and then we will call it a day.
I'm going to go smoke a cigarette.
Have fun with that. So let's just go ahead and jump into this.
How does he react after Charlie gets shot? Let's watch how he reacts. Mikey is still there, phone in hand, still filming, still texting, still talking. Charlie is about to be killed. Mikey's still standing loyally by right there. And then let's watch him walk away. So he goes behind it and he comes out right here. He just walks away. There he is.
They block
walking
it out.
away.
Wow.
So there he is walking away. That's him. That's him walking away. This is a crazy story that Sam Parker has unveiled, and it has to do with Charlie Kirk's right-hand man at TP USA. Here's what he says. As everyone else rushed to Charlie's aid and carried him to an SUV and to jet him to a hospital, this guy, Mike McCoy, can be seen. Mikey McCoy can be seen walking away in the distance, completely ignorant of whatever it is that's happening to Charlie behind him, and not visibly caring at all.
Mikey, get down.
It's really weird. I'm going to show you this video in a second. Was Charlie dead? Was he bleeding out? Did Charlie need help? Should he ride with Charlie to the hospital? Where are they taking Charlie? What's going on? Apparently, these were all questions of no concern to Mike McCoy, Charlie's friend and his chief of staff. I'm going to wait till you see this video. It's mind-blowing. Watch this to the end and tell me what you think. Is Mikey just panicking in his own very odd way, or is there something more suspicious going on? Is this the et tu you brute moment caught on film, or is it a nothing burger? What would Charlie say if he could watch this footage of his friend abandoning him in his moment of crisis and greatest need? Is this how you'd have reacted if it had been your buddy? What's going on? So here, this is a video that shows him riding around with Charlie, coming to the event with Charlie, shadowing Charlie's a foot behind him everywhere he goes. And then as soon as Charlie gets assassinated, he just walks away calmly. Watch this. This
Jokes,
is
right?
watch. I mean, come on. This, I bet this isn't going to be any weirder than his wife's pyrotechnic kill Tony rally. Am I right? Remember that? Okay. And this is the kind of stuff that really messes people up who have trust issues. Nothing suspicious about any of this as it plays out like a combination of the Truman Show meets the Squid Games. But here we are. Here we go.
That's a good analogy.
Yep.
So there they are. They're in the car. So that's Charlie Kirk. They're on their way to the event in Utah. Mike McCoy can be seen in the rearview mirror.
Look at that.
Wearing a ball cap. So Mike McCoy, his chief of staff, is in the back seat, and he's filming it. That's him right there. Mike's phone is visible for an instant. Notice the circle. That's his phone. Okay. So now they pull up on campus, and Charlie's happy about the big turnout. So there's Mike. That's him. He's right behind Charlie Kirk, entering this overhang right here, which they've now scrubbed and restuccoed. This is the view from the overhang. This is Mikey's hat, his phone with the circle. He's filming all of it. So this is Mikey's. This is from his camera, from his phone. So this is there you go. That's there he is right here. Still trailing him, still filming everything. Mikey's trailing Charlie. We just watched this from Mikey's footage. So we just saw his footage. There he is, right there. He's wherever Charlie goes, Mikey goes. And now here he is right here. There he is. There's Charlie. There he is. So let's watch. How does he react after Charlie gets shot? Let's watch how he reacts. So there's Mikey. And he just there and then he walked away. Let's watch. Keep watching. It gets better. Keep watching. Here he comes. He's right there. He's right there. He's got the phone out. Black pack's there. That's him. That's the phone. That's his backpack. That's his shirt. There he is. Mikey's still at the corner of the tent. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. There he is. Keep watching. That's him. Mikey is still there, phone in hand, still filming, still texting, still talking. There he is. This is the guy asking that question, Hunter Kozak. Charlie is about to be killed. Mikey's still standing loyally by, right there.
It's Mikey, you know.
Charlie gets killed.
Yeah, and then they block it out.
Mikey's still there.
Why is this video blacked out?
He's probably afraid.
Still there. Hold on.
Because
let's watch it from here. Let's watch it from here. And then let's watch him walk away. So he goes behind it, and he comes out right here. He just walks away. There he is, walking away.
Wow.
Okay, so now
walking away. Watch him walk away like nothing happened.
Because I was going to say, it's like if
Mikey just walks off calmly. He's not running in panic. Security's still rushing to Charlie. Mikey isn't at all interested in what's happening. Look at Mikey just walk away in the upper left. He just walks away. As Charlie is rushed to the SUV, Mikey, hang on, let me back this up. There he is.
Ooh, play Ocean's 11 music behind him.
As Charlie is rushed into the SUV, Mikey can be seen in the distance, just walking away. Still not looking. Still not looking. After being at Charlie's side all morning, watching, filming, all of a sudden, he couldn't be less interested in Charlie's most desperate hour. He just walks away. So there he is, walking away.
So,
That's him walking away.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get out of here.
I got to get out of here.
So who's this Mikey guy again? My bad.
Mikey McCoy is Charlie Kirk's. He was his friend and chief of staff of TP USA.
So I'm fired. Oh well. But too bad he didn't have sympathy. That's what they're questioning, actually.
Yeah.
Well, not just that.
I don't want to be.
If you pause for a moment, not just that, but he turned around and blew the whistle on the whole organization because there's an AI of Charlie Kirk saying, if anything ever happens to me, my watch takes over, which is fake. Which is fake.
Huh.
Plus, 3 days before the event, he had a insurance policy on him, which was canceled 3 days before, but yet again, the very same policy received $350,000 3 days before the event even happened.
Huh. Who did the insurance policy? Who put that money on the insurance policy?
Some organization that they won't name.
Huh. Interesting.
But this Mikey McCoy talked to Candace Owens, and he gave her permission to talk about it, and because Edgar Kirk had 2 boyfriends whistled in to work at TP USA. One of them worked at the Daily Wire. Now he's slowly boiling up to buy his time to release information on her. Now, Edgar Kirk was supposed to be like this loyal widow. Fuck her, dude. She's a little miss running around too, dude. You know?
Where Charlie is, Mikey has literally.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, she had another guy. Allegedly, she's been boning behind his back and shit. You know,
not surprising.
Well, not just that. The parents are calling her out. So he said his sister. Now, I did a video here the other day talking about maybe the grandparents need to have a DNA test on those kids to see if they're really Charlie's kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're probably not. They're probably not. Let's go ahead and go back to the video and finish this off.
Literally turned his back on Charlie since the instant Charlie was killed. He's no idea what's happening to Charlie, and he apparently couldn't be less interested.
I mean, I'll call him later, dude. It's me, Mikey.
Yeah, I'll call him later.
It's not like a friend who's a coward running away from the shooting, is afraid for his life. He's casually walking away, like in the movies when an explosion happens, and they walk away from it like it's no big deal.
Yep.
Which is not even real, but I just saw that.
So here's Mike McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff and friend, who spent the whole morning dutifully and loyally by Charlie's side, filming everything, abandoned Charlie in the very instant Charlie was killed. Was Charlie actually dead? Did he need help? Did Mikey rush to his aid or get his phone camera out? Anything? No, nothing. All of a sudden, Mikey McCoy didn't care about Charlie Kirk at all and just left him behind. What is
Mikey
going
McCoy,
on?
Charlie's chief of staff and friend, who spent the whole morning dutifully and loyally by Charlie's side, filming everything, abandoned Charlie in the very instant Charlie was killed. Was Charlie actually dead? Did he need help? Did Mikey rush to his aid or get his phone camera out? Anything? No, nothing. All of a sudden, Mikey McCoy didn't care about Charlie Kirk at all and just left him behind. What is going on?
So that was pretty wild, I have to admit. So that guy, he just Charlie gets shot. He immediately turns around and just walks casually away.
Mhm.
Doesn't go to see what's wrong with Charlie. Doesn't nothing. Immediately just starts walking away and keeps walking.
He was playing Pokemon Go, you know. He thought he saw a really rare Charizard or something.
I know you're saying, come on, you're getting out over your skis on this one, Jimmy. You mean my Benjamin Milkowskis? Bam, I still got it. Hey, is that Mike McCoy? Is he the guy who told us Charlie Surgeon declared his neck bones a miracle? I don't
No,
think
I'm
that's
not
the same
sure.
guy.
No, it's not. Well, Charlie had a lot of great friends. It's clear from all this video evidence.
They're so obvious about
Well, what are you
everything
gonna
they're
do about it?
doing.
Nothing.
They're so obvious about everything they're doing. I mean, that's quite a catch. Great job by that guy for catching that. That's quite a catch. You see that guy stand? He's shadowing Charlie Kirk every step of the way. As soon as he gets shot, he just calmly turns around and walks casually away without ever looking back. And so here's his father, by the way. So here is Mikey's dad, Pastor Rob McCoy.
Oh,
who
he's
was
a pastor.
He was in the group chat where Charlie said he was leaving the pro-Israel cause, calling all of us his guy who was in the chat.
Oh,
where
Christian Zionist.
So there's the guy who was in the chat when Charlie Kirk in the chat said, I'm abandoning the Israel cause. And then he comes out and calls everybody conspiracy theories for saying that.
I am one.
He's calling everybody a conspiracy theorist and anti-Semites instead of telling us Charlie was leaving the pro-Israel cause. You want to hear him? Here it goes.
With this conspiracy, get over yourself. Dan is a believer. I love that man. Why didn't he check the roof? I don't know. I do know that they do. I know they have a limited detail. President Trump was shot. Kennedy was shot. RFK was shot. Where were they? There's some things, no matter how hard you try, and especially with Turning Point growing exponentially and trying to figure out the dimensions of what to do. And how are they supposed to get on a roof when the campus police have the keys to all that?
I got a question. This guy's at the pulpit at church on a Sunday. Why is he not preaching about Christ? Why is he focused on this whole thing instead of preaching a sermon, focusing on Christ, teaching of Christ, and then separately releasing a public statement separately addressing this issue with Charlie Kirk and what happened during that event?
Exactly, my friend.
I mean, you're taking away from the focus of God on this for political and promotional reasons. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Just calm down.
Just calm down. Shut up.
Oh.
And we already know that the security team wouldn't work with the local police who had the keys to the roof. They said they wouldn't work with them. That's in another video. Go ahead, Kurt.
You think it's a good idea to name all the other things that were fake things
yes,
that were done and then go, trying your hardest. No, trying your hardest. They succeed at what they set out to do, asshole.
That's right.
They didn't get on the route. Why would you ever forgive them for that if you were friends with that guy? Hey, I don't know. They couldn't get the keys.
They couldn't get the
best
keys.
friend's dead. What? What is happening?
Yeah, that's a lawsuit and a half.
I'm sorry. What's the latest one for all you anti-Semites? The Israelis put a hit on him? Oh, please. Just take your hate elsewhere. There's no credence in any of that.
Oh.
You had a
But yet it makes perfect sense. Charlie Kirk dies and the pro-Israel agenda goes full swing. Trump makes a hard left, goes to a war with Iran on behalf of Israel, refuses to back down, continues to kiss Bibi's ass. I mean, it all makes sense at this point. The refusal to investigate, the government's refusal to investigate any foreign involvement, regardless of who. I mean, since when is that a fucking case? When that was implemented, what, back in the early 2000s? Because of 9/11? Maybe before that? If I'm not mistaken, we have to investigate foreign involvement. That's common procedure, but yet we circumvented that. Why? If it were any other country in the world, Russia, China, anywhere in the Middle East other than Israel, Australia, Canada, Mexico.
Because Israel wants to push their national Zionist movement.
Exactly. You want to talk about, we by policy have to investigate the possibility of any foreign involvement in an assassination attempt, especially one that is politically motivated. Oh, we're not going to do that in this case. Why not? Okay, I think the answer is pretty well obvious. So this pastor's full of shit.
Man raised in a God-fearing home that got twisted and indoctrinated. And everyone who is involved in lies with subtlety of deception without any fact, you're participating and you've got blood guilt. God operates in truth.
This is such an over the top. You better stop asking questions. I haven't seen something this bad since Seth Rich, or maybe COVID. This
guy's a pastor.
This guy's a pastor.
This is like if I was making a joke on a show with that guy from Eastbound and Down about pastors, which he did make. This is what it would look like.
Yeah, with Danny McBride.
This is like at the end where the guy's fucking up. I can't even believe he went out and talked. First of all, you just mentioned all the other things I think are conspiracies.
Yeah, so RFK's shooting, JFK's shooting. Who else did he mention?
Did someone tell you, "Oh, please" is a really good rejoinder for video evidence? That's crazy.
Not your stupidity. I'm calling it what it is. You're complicit.
So if you question Kash Patel's official narrative, you're complicit in the murder of Charlie Kirk. This is the over the top. You better shut up and stop asking questions and trust the establishment. Let somebody in government tell you what happened.
Jimmy, I don't want to say this, but I owe an apology.
Again. And he gave him power to deceive the nations.
Weren't you talking about InfraGard earlier?
Yes.
Yeah. Just pointing. That's all.
Yeah.
To Jerry Sandusky, because I thought he was a poor interview. Then I saw this guy talk.
Yes.
And Jerry made a lot more of an effort to make his lie go through,
That's almost like what's this, a precatory psalm?
I don't even know what he's saying there, but here's one more. So here,
I thought I heard that. No,
so Sam Parker, hustle bitch, he found the video. So if you want to know how crazy it is that Mikey McCoy just calmly walked away because here's the video of how everybody else was reacting. Not his chief of staff. His chief of staff walked calmly away, never looked back, and just kept going. But here's how people were reacting all around Mike McCoy. You want to see it? Here it is. This is how people were reacting. Everybody's down. Everybody's afraid of getting shot. Everybody's out of their minds, except Mikey McCoy, Charlie Kirk's chief of staff. He's just walking calmly away right now. Look at this. This is what's happening.
That is highly sus.
This is the scene right behind where Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk got killed out there. This is the scene behind there. Everybody's scared for their life. They don't know if there's more bullets coming. They don't know what happened. Not Mikey McCoy. He just strolled out as cool as a cucumber. As cool as a cucumber. This is right in the tunnel, right behind where Charlie Kirk was. This is where they took him out. This is where Mike McCoy walked through. All this, and he did it really calmly, like nothing happened. Isn't that kind of amazing? This is what it looked like. So here, I also want to show you. Here he is. So self-proclaimed Swiss Army knife problem. So this is him. This is the guy. This is Mike McCoy. This is after the assassination. Here he is on Charlie Kirk's show, and he's going to tell you about how he was the guy who, whenever there was a Swiss Army knife problem, meaning there could be any, he was the guy who would go and fix the problem for Charlie Kirk. So here, let's listen to him.
I don't want you to go to college. I want you to come work for me. So best decision I made.
So he said, Charlie Kirk said, don't go to college, come work for me. Best decision he ever made. He went to work for Charlie Kirk. And now listen.
Yeah, so with him for 6 years, his Swiss Army knife, if a problem would arise, I'd go and solve it for him.
So if he had a Swiss Army knife problem, meaning any kind of problem, he would go solve it for him.
His life organized and traveled with him everywhere.
Help keep his life organized, traveled with him everywhere.
I think he was always so complimentary of.
Really? Except when he gets shot. You just turn around calmly and walk away. You don't try to help him. You don't try to make sure he gets to an ambulance. You don't try to make sure he gets to the hospital. You don't try to do anything. You immediately turn around and walk super calmly away. That is suspect. So there was a lot of people in on this, is what it looks like. It looks like there was a lot of people were in on this. That's what it looks like, including that pastor.
Well, first of all, do you know that church, how creepy ass that church is? I didn't know about this church, but I'm pretty sure it's the Seven Mountains Theology Church. I bet you anything. And there's a guy, I forget the guy's name, but that the kid was walking like that because my guess is it's an MK Monarch kid. That's what they do, teach you to do with hypnosis.
Oh, no kidding.
His dad's you saw his creep ass father from a creep ass church. All those churches, and you could spot them real easy because they're really support Israel. That's how you know they're a fake devil church. It's a psyop Christianity, Schofield Bible crap. They've got the Seven Mountain. Remember your friend that you had on, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, with his dumb book? He's right about Seven Mountain Theology.
Other people are
That's
recognizing this.
Luciferian. They're like a real creepy cult. So I bet that kid got put through some real programming, and the people don't even know they're a spy or a shooter until it's time for them to do their little patsy dance. That program's real. It's been disclosed. It sounds fanciful, but the NSA acknowledges they did that.
It did look like he was almost a zombie the way he walked away.
Yeah, like the fake shooter. Much like the fake shooter, they both have that zombie look. Isn't that funny? And all of them, the ones that are alive, all the ones that aren't killed. I mean, Ryan Ralph, did he look like he didn't have a zombie look? Also,
how about
remember
the guy
the searches?
The guy in Butler, Pennsylvania, who shot Trump in the air, supposedly.
Yeah, Google searches went up for him too. Remember I sent you them files?
Yeah.
All the shootings, the searches are all suspicious. All of them. Get it? Oh, and the New Jersey drones as well.
And the New Jersey drones, the Google searches. Yep.
But yeah, that's just Anduril, though. That we know what that is.
So whenever someone tells you not to ask a question in an unsolved murder investigation, that guy is a psyop. That guy is lying to you at the behest of someone. And that's Mikey McCoy's dad and Mikey McCoy. Very suspicious. How come there's no journalists asking these questions? Isn't that
they
interesting?
better not, because they don't want to be found dead because their car just goes off a road.
No,
they have no hands
they're
when
going
you
to
find the
commit.
body.
Yeah, because if a journalist actually asks questions about this, they're going to end up committing suicide by shooting themselves twice in the head.
Or they'll be kept in prison in limbo because legally they can do that, like Julian Assange.
Yep.
Any real whistleblowers have to hide in other countries. They're not here doing podcasts unless they already did their time, and even then you got to just be a little skeptical,
This is amazing.
I like it's all coming out now. I really like it because people really are going to have to, at some point, absorb the level of what's up. And all you got to do, nothing violent, just stop consenting to bullshit every day of your goddamn life. All you got to do is not consent to it. That's all you got to do. Don't consent. Don't be a punk. The next time you have to wear a mask and all that, don't do it. Why? Why not just do that? That's what scares them. The violence helps them. That's why they have to manufacture consent with this shit.
That's exactly what this is. This is manufacturing consent.
Yep.
Wow. So don't shut up. Don't stop asking questions. God bless Candace Owens. And shame on, of course, the American media that won't ask a single question.
Yeah, snitch.
They won't ask
Break your
They will. In
oaths.
20 years, they'll start asking questions in 20 years, just like now, how it's safe to ask questions about Building 7. But they would never do that before. They'll wait 20 years, and then they'll start asking the questions that we're asking here at the show. I'm talking about the corporate mainstream media in America. They'll wait about 20 years.
When it's safe.
When it's safe.
That's why they hide it until the young people go, what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
But it don't work now because TikTok, the morons in Israel already broadcast their crimes to the young people that you fed woke bullshit to. So they're going to expect you to adhere to that. And when they find out you don't, and they really didn't,
Yeah.
You lost them. Half of them. I mean, it's over, motherfuckers. Like, good luck. Try censoring. See how that works.
That's what their plan is. That's why Zionists just bought 1/6 of all of the media in the United States.
Yeah,
right?
well, do your "you got cooties" argument and see how far it gets you. It's falling apart even now. That's what the panic's about.
I mean, the Zionists bought TikTok because they lost control of the narrative. Now they bought CBS, they bought CNN, they bought Paramount, they bought Warner Brothers. That's the Zionists.
It's not the Jews. No one's blaming the Jews or religion. It's specifically Zionism, formerly known as fascist Zionism when it first came out. Zionist fascists who made a deal with Hitler to get that going. Jews didn't want to move there. Did you know that? They were moving to America. So these other scumbag rich motherfuckers stepped up the persecution because, once again, anti-Semitism is a natural resource for the psychopaths behind Israel. They need it like they need natural gas or fuel or whatever the fuck they need it. So don't attack Jews. It's not the religion. Go after the political aspect.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And if you want to hear my jokes about this, come see me in Australia. We've added second shows in all the cities. We'll be in Burbank the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday.
All right. So, Reverend, you had some thoughts you wanted to go into. We got about 3 minutes left before we gotta call it.
Yeah.
But, go ahead and plug what we're going to be covering on Tuesday on Great Jedi TV.
This Tuesday we're going to talk about it's the part 2, and we're going to talk about the entire Erica Kirk what the F.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of do a deep dive into this whole thing because there's a lot going on to it, and just more and more comes out. You mentioned that Charlie Kirk's chief of staff went to Candace Owens. Full disclosure, all there. I want to go into detail on that. Maybe we'll get some clips for that. I would like to cover that as well if you're down for it.
Oh yeah.
So
I did back-to-back videos, back-to-back for 2 days, and one of them is titled "TP USA has been turned onto its head."
Okay, I don't think I got those reposted. Make sure to send those to me privately, and I will get those reposted later on today.
Part 3 is not this Tuesday, but the following week. Part 3 will be about the rise and fall of the influencer.
And I think that's a good correlation in regards to what we just watched. So be sure to tune in for that this Tuesday to cover the Erica Kirk
6 p.m. Pacific,
deep dive, and then
8
next
Central.
week the death of social media influencers.
It's 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep, and it will be shared on all of TWWRN's social medias. Reverend has his own channels. You can find those in at the beginning of the videos, and they're also in the description. And we also plug him on our social medias. Anything he posts gets reposted to our Facebook and our X. So on that note, again, be sure Facebook, all at RealTWWRN. I will have this podcast re-uploaded to Rumble no later than tonight, as soon as it's done processing. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. I thought I had everything set up. I set it up all last night on my phone, and then went to set it up, went to just plug and play here, and it didn't work. So you'll learn as you go, and I do apologize, but I will make sure to get the retransmission out. It is posted to YouTube, so people are able to watch it there. Feel free to share this broadcast and keep the conversation going in the YouTube comments. We love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Given the technical difficulties, we didn't have any comment interaction today, but for those of you on YouTube, or might be seeing the YouTube link on our various social medias, feel free to join in the conversation, share your thoughts and opinions, and any insight that you might have. And also check out our online store, tons of great merch. Like I said, we got the new face mask. If they put in a mask mandate, why not use their momentum against them and use it to expose their crimes? And even if you don't wear masks, we got the shirt. Ask about Agenda 2030 and the Great Reset, or ask about the Great Reset and Agenda 2030. I'll put that on a shirt specifically. And as always, this is carried by you. Anything you do, whether you follow us, you check out the merchandise, or share the live feeds, or engage in the conversation, you're helping us grow. You're helping us reach more people, because that's what it's really about. Okay, anything we make in terms of monetization or anything from the store goes right back into the operation. Doesn't go into my pocket, doesn't go into Revan's pocket. It goes into funding the operation and reaching more people. So again, follow us on our various social media, share the retransmissions, check out our online store, and as always, keep the conversation going. So until Tuesday, I'm the Tin Man, Chris Sheldon, with the Worldwide Resistance Network, on behalf of Revan and Zero and Queen Bitch, who couldn't be here today. This is the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you're watching this, you are the resistance. Stay strong. Stay safe. God bless you all. Don't lose faith. Don't lose heart. And continue to be the watchman, warning others of the impending approach of the enemy. Because our biggest caveat is information. They want to control information. We need to get information out there. So it's on you. So again, Tin Man with the Resistance, Revan, Zero, on behalf of Jenny. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance. Peace.
You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the Resistance.